Like, it's again, this goes back to the fact that I should have like the room set up for this podcast, considering this is episode 68. At this point, I'm still asking every week for the guest and Hunter and Mega when she was here to say like, "Hey guys, just send me a video link." It takes like what 5-10 minutes to set up a room in Video Ninja, and I just said, I've been at this for over a year. I don't need it.
Doesn't
Hunter,
feel worth it if you've not put some effort in.
I mean, I put some effort in. There's definitely some effort. Minimal, but some. I mean, all the effort happened at the very start of this podcast before anything ever happened. Ever since then, it's just me changing the colors every week. Oh god damn it!
What's say up to now? Zay is a chaotic individual.
Yeah, so there's a chair. I have a Papazon chair or a bubble chair over in this corner of my room, and because I've fully padded my room with sound dampening foam, Zay likes to go in the corner and fucking eat it. So
Still?
yeah, still. So I blocked it, and the only way that she could get in there is if she jumps on top of the chair and goes in through the one hole that there is. However, when she does that, she can't get out. So I have to pull her out. Every time.
God. Jose.
Like, I love you, girl, but can you not dumb shit?
They always find a way.
Can you not? Like, she knows she did something wrong.
Guilty eyes.
The moment I turn away, she's gonna walk her.
Go back and
Yeah, she's gonna climb on top of the chair, and I'm only gonna notice at the last moment when she's jumping down into the hole of no return. Yeah. Hunter, what are you drinking today?
It's just like, just basically Sprite. It's nothing fancy. Very simple. It's a Monday. Tired.
I don't have my water. Shit.
Why'd you always have your water. What are you up to?
I came prepared. I've got a Overwatch flipping tankard,
Fucking
and then
hell.
a full bottle.
That is
I'm
yeah,
prepared.
Man's ready to be
yeah.
fucking hydrated.
I just know if I talk too much, my throat goes really dry, and then I start choking everywhere. So I'd rather not do that.
Well, that might be me tonight. Because unless I have to run out of my office for some reason.
I mean, you can get water. I assume you've already done what you've done, but you know.
Yes.
Okay, well, nothing really stops you. It's just, are you willing to put that kind of danger into my hands for 60 seconds? And he has put that danger on my plate for 60 seconds. Friday, you're here on a Monday. What's up with that?
Wrong naming choice. I'm slowly building a collection of every day of the week. Soon I will have. Yes. So right now I have obviously my name Friday, and then my producer account is called Saturday. I need to just find different platforms to have a different day of the week for all my names. And eventually I should have the full set.
I mean, you could have technically you could have unlimited Discord accounts.
That's true. I did start doing it with Overwatch accounts back when the Overwatch League teams, when they were like giving away the free accounts. Like it was meant to be one per person, but you could just create a new email and get a free account. I did that about 20-ish times. And at one point had an account for. The plan was to have an account for every day of the week, and then I realized I only play on like 3 accounts as it is, so I just gave over half of them away. I only have like 5 of them left. 2 got banned, and that's all I have left.
Great idea for anyone who wants to do it and who somehow has the resources too. Just start making accounts with every month and date. So just January 1st through December 31st.
It should be like domains, you know, where like the most like common words like domains always get like sniped. You just do that with like Overwatch names. You just like common dates, I don't know. There'll be a July 4th account or something that'll be selling for like 10K or something.
I mean, that's the thing though with Blizzard is you could have several people that have the same like name, but it's just whatever the Blizzard account number is after is the only difference.
Yeah,
that's true.
We just need to find. We need to find like 10 same names who still actively play Overwatch and just get them into one lobby and cast it.
Oh God.
Hunter, how would you enjoy that? Would you enjoy casting 10 people with the same name?
It would be funny for about the first map, and then after that, I think it'd get very annoying very quickly. It's the joke of it all, you know. Right. But then it just like,
yeah. Sorry, Fred. I know you're not a caster, but how would you enjoy observing a game with everyone with the same name?
I mean, like when you saw like the sheer like outrage in the broadcasting community when the kill feed bug happened. If instead of like being the wrong colors, if everyone's the same name, I think that would be awful. I mean, but I don't know. I feel like at least for me, when I'm observing, I go more intuitively off like heroes and roles, not by names. But for casting, God no.
I feel like for casting, like Hunter said, it'd be really funny for the first map, and then just get kind of tired by map 2. But at least you would know what to say. Like, oh, blank killed blank. Blank died again.
Like blank died.
Insert name here. But welcome everyone back to this episode of For the Love of Prod. We've been going for about 7.5 minutes at this point. As always, not the longest. I forget who we went like 15 minutes on, but there was definitely someone we had the intro be 15 minutes long. That was still a wild one, but welcome back. This is episode 68. As always, I'm joined by Huntertain, and our guest this week is Friday. Friday, man, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you on here. I think we've definitely worked a little bit in BPL. I think that's where we mostly have, if we have worked together. But you and we'll get into Luau and everything that you do with USS and Respawn.io. I will say this.
Yeah.
You might need to move your mic slightly closer.
Oh, is it a bit? Oh, okay, sure. Is this better?
Like there's times where it sounds really good, but there's other times where it sounds like you're a little bit far away.
I'm trying to be quiet. It's a bit late, but no. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
I'll just turn you up on the Discord side. Yeah, but thank you so much, man, for coming on. But I mean, like I said, we'll talk about Luau, we'll talk about USS, we'll talk about Respawn IO a little bit later here. But we have 2 questions that we normally ask. Actually, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want you to give you the opportunity to kind of give a little bit of an introduction of yourself, and basically with that, I'm just asking you to tell us what roles you normally do and what game or games that you normally work in.
Okay, so my broadcasting sort of career, I guess, started at uni. My uni is based around esports, and there was a big sort of section of that wasn't like taught, but it was like an extracurricular thing, which was a broadcast group, and we did. When the year I joined, we were doing British Esports, which is a UK collegiate scene. So for it's like 16 to 18. So I'm not sure what year that would be in America, but it's that age range.
That would be the final years of high school, which is that what you?
Okay.
I don't want to say is that secondary school for you guys?
Yeah, it's sort of like the gray area between like university or college for you, and then the high school, generally. But yeah, so for that age range where it's like 16 to 18, British Esports, which is a national governing body, run this tournament, and our uni was producing a lot of the games for it. And just because I was kind of bored, I started getting involved with that, and that's sort of how the production stuff started, really. Obviously, coming from, I used to be a professional. Let's not get ahead of myself. I was almost like semi-pro player. I wasn't great, but like back in like 2020-ish, I was like trying my best, and then I realized that I'm just not good enough. Moved to coaching. Sat around sort of like the upper tier 3 sort of area, getting like doing like top 10 open divisions back when that was a thing, that kind of thing, and jumped around games a bit, jumped into League, jumped into Valorant because they were big at the time, and eventually ended up, I just stayed in Overwatch, kept coaching, and then, yeah, sort of at the same time, started doing production. So it's fun that I was producing games, coaching games, because I actually started off casting. I have no idea why, because I was not good at it. But I think most people that were there, especially one of the producers at the time who now works with Riot, is a junior producer there. Great guy called Finlow. He was like, "You're probably one of our best Overwatch casters, so as much as you like to probably do other stuff, can you do this?" And I was like, "Sure." I think one thing that helped me in, I know we'll get into USS later, but like in creating the package, because I did a lot of like the visual aspects of it, is that I can be very controlling with broadcast because I like a broadcast to look a certain way, and I want to do everything basically. That's what, because like I have such like a high standard where if I don't like the look of a broadcast or something, then it just really puts me off watching it. So that's why any broadcast I'd be taking part in is like, if I wouldn't watch it, or I wouldn't make it if I wouldn't watch it, basically. Might sound a bit egotistical, but it's like kind of how I think about it. It also helps put up a good standard, which is what I think both me and Luau especially have created to do. But I try and do it with every project I'm in. But yeah, so started off with uni, and then, as you mentioned, BPL. I've been playing in those leagues for about a year, and I think it was knock on wood, I'd mentioned to as a joke or something where I mentioned that I'd been doing producing, and he as a joke said, "Oh, we need producers. Why don't you just hop in and do it?" And literally throwing in me right in the deep end. Like, I don't know if you've like seen the Solomon production tools or anything, but I'd never. I mean, they're really easy and they're really well made and good to use, especially for beginners. But I'd not done any of that really, and not just like, "Oh yeah, just do this, download that," and off to the races. And I was like, okay. And then, but eventually really enjoyed doing it. So that's ultimately because of knock, I guess. That's why I'm still doing production. Like, I mean, that was only a year ago. Obviously, with uni, it was about 2 years, but actual then going into what I'm doing now with Respawn, BPL, USS, CGL, all of that, that was basically because of knock. And I'm kind of glad because I think he's a great person in this community, especially. So yeah, big shout out to Knock.
Yeah, I find it really funny that you basically described it as like, yeah, Knock was like, yeah, here's everything. You got it? Okay, cool. I just imagine it's like, okay, he got everything. Back to my cat girl.
Literally, all it was is that on the Solomon website there is a thing to specifically to like, if you're like learning to produce or observe, there's a thing to like read through. And he just said, read through this, set this up, and I'll hop in a call with you, and like in an hour you'll be streaming. And I'm like, okay. And then we get in the call, because I've read through it like fine-tooth comb, gone through everything. And then he goes back to me, he's like, when we're in the call, he's like, wait, you've actually read it all? And I was like, yeah, you told me to. And it was like most people just don't read it and start streaming and then just like have issues. But like, no, you've actually read it. And I was like, of course I'm not. This is BPL. I'm not gonna like. I know it's like a community and for fun, and like, yeah, it's like a good chance to learn. But like, I just didn't want to make a catastrophic mistake, I guess. Yeah.
I think that's. I don't want to say that's probably the most American response you could have. Is like, you read that thing? I don't expect anyone to ever read that shit. Like, dear God. But no, like we've talked to so many people who have worked with Solomon GG in that entire package, and they basically say the exact same thing. Very easy to learn, very easy to have everything kind of flow through with it here. But you talked about something, and you talked about something briefly, and it's something that I want to say I have. It's something I believe Hunter has as well, of high standards for stuff that you make. And again, we'll get more into this later on when we're talking about Respawn IO and all that stuff. But like, it's such a like having high standards, especially for something that you do, and something that you're willing to put out there into the world. Like, it's a very different thing from, I want this to look nice, I'm putting it out there. And then there's the other things where it's like, it's the jokey kind of stuff, which we don't normally see a lot in production, because a lot of the productions, even at the community level, are still like, hey, we want to put on the best show that we possibly can. But sometimes it's just not necessarily the best. And I will say, you look at some like Face It co-streamers who don't really have any overlays. It's just like, here's the score of the game. And like, again, I understand that. They're happy with it. But it's what they have. But with you and what you have done so far, like, what's that high standard that you kind of keep up with? Because you said, like, if you're not happy with it, it probably won't be going out there. What's, like, your standard?
I'd say the top standard for me, at least in terms of Overwatch, I mean, you'd have to say like Overwatch League. I mean, for all that the actual tournaments and the progression of the league was a bit of a mess, it felt like a lot that actually went into the visuals of it, especially with like all the team branding. That was stuff I love. That's something that I wish that we still just had. I know it's kind of possible in the with OWCS, they sometimes use the orange and grayed out skins sometimes, but just anything that like visually looks appealing, I like. So I mean, especially like from that, I think there's also stuff in like the Solomon package that I've taken inspiration from. I think considering it's all like free to use, basically, Solomon has done such a good job. CGL as well. I mean, there are so many examples where you can see that yes, it takes a lot of effort, but the effort really does pay off in the end. Because you could watch CGL and it's like watching premium broadcast. You won't think it's like all just volunteers, basically. Obviously, like the people that have set it up have been paid and deserve to do that, but also a lot of the people taking part, like yourselves, for the most part, would be volunteering. And yeah, that's just my thing, that like even with even just like a little bit of effort to make something look nicer and achieve that high standard is worth it. But yeah, in terms of like what I'm looking at, like any broadcast, I usually like to look to the top. I like to look at the top event first as sort of a general like frame reference, I guess. But then still look around and see what are other people doing that is special and looks slightly quirky. It might be where like the entire thing looks bad, but then this like one little animation looks really good. Where I'm just like, I'd like to implement something like that, and that's sort of where it's basically gone from.
Yeah, and
especially with the respawn package. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But like, Headrammer, Hippie, and everyone there that have made that CGL package what it is now, or what I think is going to become known as probably the XYBA package at this point, because like it's version
becoming more. I say like when I started with them, it seemed to be a bit more XYBA was in the background, but now they're sort of pushing it more a lot now, aren't they? Which is nice.
Yeah,
so I think it's a good looking brand, or good sounding brand.
Yeah, and I mean, Solomon GG or BPL does not necessarily push that Solomon GG is what's behind it, but at that point, like if you've been around BPL long enough, you know what that is. And since Headrammer and Hippie, I think, started XYBA only about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, they really started to push that out there, and I think it's the right thing to do for them. I mean, like you go to SPCS, that's Solomon GG packaging as well. I want to get the league right here. What is it? Kitsune League, that's XYBA.
Kitsune League is Solomon.
Oh, fuck. It's the other one. Kunoichi. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Kunoichi is XYBA, and Kintsugi is Solomon. Like, there's the differences, though, that you see in them, and it's very fun to see. It's very interesting to kind of, when you actually take a look at them and see what the differences are, but you still see that, like, they're putting a lot of effort into it to still make it look very good. And, I mean, me and Hunter can talk about what we have when me and him do Face It. Like, Hunter has added a whole bunch of animations and a whole bunch of, like, transitions to it. I'm the one who makes the graphics, and it's something where, or I make the overlays, the scoreboard stuff, and it's something where every season it's never the same thing, because I always want to try something different that's different than what other people are seeing. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. I will admit that.
Yeah, it's definitely trial and error. I think there is always times where, like, I know, like, my opinion isn't perfect, so there's stuff where I'll think, oh, this looks really good, and then someone else comes in and says, oh, try this instead, and it actually looks better. There's one thing especially I'd say with Respawn, where we started doing, pardon me, we started doing listenings, and I thought, because obviously, if you've seen OWCS, they started having that a little, like, banner at the top that extends or merges with, like, where the team name is, and I like the idea of that, but I can't really think of a way to make it work well that was, like, different but similar. And then I ended up just using, like, text, just like a listening thing, and a little bug, just image that goes over the top. And I was a complete idiot because I gave them to Luau and said, because he was doing the next broadcast, I was like, I'd use these to try them out, see how it works with some animations and stuff. And then I realized where I'd made them to position was right on top of the kill feed. And for some reason, I just hadn't thought of that. So yeah, that was a bit of an oops. But then it was Cynthia. I'm not sure how you say her name, but I think she used to work with like Monkey Bubble and Reflash, like back in like Contenders Gauntlet days, and she came up with a great little idea of it's just like a small little headphone icon that comes up near the team names, like how OWCS kind of does, but it's just like a small thing. It's noticeable, but it's just like a small little tweak that's just it's just nice on the eye, basically, that you can see. And yeah, that's something that is honestly one of my favorite things. It's like small, like little animations and stuff that I think always looks like really good. CGL especially, like at first where they had the hero videos when it shows all 10 players, stuff like that is really cool. I like that they're now doing the face cam stuff as well, but especially at first those videos, maybe not for me because I have a awful PC at times that decides it doesn't want to be a PC and it hates rendering those videos, but when it does work, it looks really good. And yeah,
I think there's the package they built, they have it to be where if your computer can handle them, they will play the videos, but if you don't want to put that much stress on it, they will.
Hippie has a PC that could put 50 million people on the moon and simulate a tennis match, send them back again with gravity and all that simulated. And he goes to someone with a ThinkPad laptop and says, "Here, run this package." And I mean, I know he doesn't expect it to work, but sometimes it's the case where it doesn't quite work. I used to have so many issues with my GPU encoder just deciding it's nope. It just packed up, went off to the seaside. It just did not want to do anything.
Buddy, I need a break. Fuck whatever you're doing. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, it just gave up.
Yeah.
So there was a solid like period where I just couldn't produce CGL stuff until I figured out issues. It took a complete driver reset and updates of every single piece of software that could have related to OBS just to get it working. Eventually it did, and yeah, but no, I love Hippie, but he need. I think sometimes he forgets that not all of us have supercomputers just chilling in our bedrooms.
Computers, vMix licenses, a second computer that he routes into his first computer.
20 monitors, 15 stream decks, everything.
75 Transformers figurines behind him.
Okay, that bit I can get behind.
2 tubas.
Two.
I think he has 2
I did
tubas
not
at
know
this
you had
point.
two.
I like.
Is he dual wield? Two at
If
once.
only.
That would be impressive. That would be impressive.
We should ask him if he can dual wield the tubas for a photo. Dear God.
Make it the new Wikipedia photo. The first one might be too good though. I don't know.
Dear God. I'm gonna. I think we brought this up like last week. Let me bring up Hippie's Liquipedia because it still has the best fucking photo of him here. What do you? It shows me. Okay, it shows me the broadcast first, not what it is. I mean, look at this photo of him.
Oh, that is a pretty good photo.
It is a pretty good photo.
It is a really good photo. I think he said this photo was taken in 2019 though. Or 2020. I don't know. It's an old photo. I keep on telling him every year he just needs to recreate it.
He should. He should do that, but with the two tubers.
True.
One over each shoulder. That should be the upgrade.
It would be. Oh dear God. That's something we need to see at some point. We need to. We need to bully him into doing it. I don't know how, but we will. But let's get on to the very weird because very weird with this one because I think Hunter picked up on it a little bit. You actually answered one of the questions that I normally asked right away of what got you in, and I know with the introduction question. No, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. The introduction question, it normally does lead into like how you normally got started, but let's now just go to the second part of the question here of what keeps you coming back. And I know this will probably be something about Respawn and USS and all that stuff, but what keeps you coming back to doing stuff within esports, and more specifically, what keeps you coming back to doing stuff within esports production?
I think mostly I just you know when like you're doing something and everyone just keeps telling you it's not worth it, there's no career, it's not gonna go anywhere, but you just love it so much. That's been my relationship with, I mean, specifically Overwatch, but Overwatch esports as well. Even back like when I was in high school, when Overwatch came out in 2016, I was playing the closed beta. I played everything like from the start, and it got to like Christmas time, and when that first sort of initial drop off that every game has, and all my friends said to me, "Oh, why are you still playing that game? It's so boring now." And I was just still hooked like as much then from like day one as you just can't give it up. And I think that's something I've had. I do have issues where I seem to like burn out of stuff. I think most of the time where I've changed sort of progression has come to burnout. And so like I used to like when I first started doing stuff, I started as like a player, but like at first I was in like plat diamond. I wasn't great. And I started doing graphic design, and out of nowhere, a guy called Kev, who's the owner of Ex Oblivione, DM'd me and was like, "Hey, I've seen some graphic stuff you've done. Our team is like looking for some more professional looking stuff. Would you want to do this? We can pay you if you want." I was like, "No, it's fine. I mean, I was watching Overwatch League at the time. This was around 2019. This was when they started picking up motion in this in Open Division, just before they got promoted into contenders in 2020. But they're like, "Yeah, do you want to start doing this?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll just do it for free." So started making graphics for them, and that was really fun. And that sort of ended up getting like sort of in their team chats and stuff. Because at the beginning, it was like a really like friendly. It was literally just a group of friends, and they were so welcoming. Everyone there is like, you had like all the figures. Like you had like the sort of parental figures. So like Doge, who like went to Houston Outlaws. He was like sort of a her figure. Then you had like kids as well. There was a video editor called Cinny, who was like the typical little brother. Like everyone takes the piss out of him. He thinks he knows what he's on about, but then like people make jokes about him. He was great. It literally was like a family. And it's kind of cringe to say, but you do end up in those situations sometimes. And yeah, that sort of got me into seeing how esports is for Overwatch. And that's when I was like, "Oh, stop playing." Well, not stop playing ranked, but I'll start playing more. Bit of a tangent, but like fast forward, and then I realized I'm not really improving as a player. I moved to coaching because I get a bit bored of playing. Do the coaching thing for a few years, swap games every now and again. I think it was around the Overwatch 2 beta where I changed to Valorant for a while. There was a guy I knew who was like doing tier 3 Valorant coaching. Was like, hey, do you want to like sit in and learn? Because I know you're a good Overwatch coach. Do you want to like try some of this stuff? And I was like, I'll give it a go. I did that for a few months, and eventually it wasn't for me. I enjoyed some of the nuances, but overall it was just too slow of a game. And as I said, it's like Stockholm syndrome. Ended up back in Overwatch. Then yeah, from graphics design to playing to coaching and then into production. I just, even if I get bored of something in esports or Overwatch, I like to find something else to do. And I said it's only been about a year of actual like hardcore doing this production, but yeah, still going and don't want to stop anytime soon. And especially now with the development of Respawn, yeah, I don't want to stop, even if like all the voices saying, even my parents are going, no, this is how are you gonna create like a stable living from this, and I'm like, well, I'm probably not, but it's like so fun. It's like passion project. I just want to keep doing it. So yeah. It's given so much back to me for what I put into it. I mean, I've probably put more in than it's given back, but to me, it feels like so much more.
I think there's a lot of people, especially in the community leagues, that it's that like they put in a lot more than they've even given back from the game, but they're in that same kind of boat where it's like, I've been having so much fun with it, it doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, I think me and Hunter are part of that. A lot of the other casters you see in BPL, CGL, SPCS, Kitsune, and a lot of these other incredibly smaller leagues out there, these other community leagues, like you'll see casters there that just do this because you'll see casters, producers, observers, prod crews, players do it because they know they probably aren't going to be able to go pro, and if or even get into like high levels of Face It. But it's also just like the things where I'm having fun. Like this isn't gonna get me anywhere, or I might not be able to do anything with this, but I'm having fun with it. And I think there's so many fun stories that could be told by the people who that is their kind of mindset. It's like, hey, I'm having fun with it. I don't necessarily care if there is an opportunity to make money from it. Cool. It, like if I could make money from it, awesome. Yes, every day I would, but most of the time
it's a bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think like me and we've talked about this a couple times on the podcast. When me and Hunter did the season 5 playoffs for Face It, we like I will not say how much they paid us for it, but I think me and Hunter we both talked to each other after and said basically like, yeah, we probably would have taken half of what they paid us there because it was just like such an awesome thing. Like I don't know how much further we would have gone down, but it's we always make the joke like, here's $20, you want to come cast? Yes.
Straight away, instantly, yes, yeah.
It's that fucking meme of like the, hey, how much is your commission? It's like 2 shawarma and a Sprite, and then the other person says $200. $200 it is.
I forget who it was, but we had like the debate of like what's like the weirdest way you've ever been paid for a cast. Do you remember what episode that is or who that was? Because we had that conversation.
It was we've had it a couple times. I still have my answer. Hell, my answer is sitting behind me.
Yeah, you have your answer.
It's covered by Dale right now, but it's covered by Dale Earnhardt at the moment, but it's there.
Oh my god.
What's your weirdest way, Hunter?
That's the thing we did last time is that like I didn't have like a super weird thing, to be honest with you. Like I wish I had something cool sitting by where it's like, yeah, this is what I got paid with. But it doesn't really exist. I went through the esports winter hell of being paid in Liquipedia points, as many other people did, unfortunately. There really is nothing. I wish you had a cool story. Dex,
I got my bucket.
Oh yeah, he did get a bucket.
I had to buy the bucket. They just said they sent the sticker. Yeah, so I did a cast for a Rocket League team in RLCS Open, and they went on like an incredible run, almost making it to like the top 16 or top 8, which would not have guaranteed them a spot in like the major, but it would have been an incredible like surprise. And we sat there because it was like a 6-hour long stream of all these games, like back to back to back to back. And at some point during it, someone said, like, dear God, the players won't have a break for 6 fucking hours. And someone said, they're going to need a bucket, won't they? So that's how the bully bucket was for. I think someone also just posted a picture of that fucking seat that had just the bucket and a toilet seat on it as its seat. Okay, you go put the bucket back.
Yeah, let's get the bucket back in place. Oh my god, that's always hilarious when we talked about it, because I'm like, man, never paid anything weird, and then like Dex and the other person were like, yeah, here are these totally obscure things. It's like, wait, what?
I mean, I got paid in a sticker, basically. I spent money on the bucket.
You spent money on the bucket just for the free sticker.
Net loss.
No, here's the worst part about that. I got a sticker. I gave them the wrong address the first time they sent it to me.
Oh my god.
I messed up the actual like street address by accident. And the dude was like, "Have you not got them yet? It's been a month." I'm like, "No, are you sure you sent it to the right one?" And he's like, "I'll send you the address you gave me." I was like,
That's wrong.
Wrong. Some
I fucked up, didn't I?
Yeah, some random person out there just had a sticker, and it's like, what the?
Oh no, I found out that like the address that it got sent to is technically like the middle of a 4-way intersection. It doesn't exist.
Or just like left it on the corner, said, all right.
That's a busy intersection.
As far as I'm legally obligated to go.
How about you, Friday? What's the weirdest way you've been paid, or what's the weirdest thing you've been paid with?
I'm trying to think. There's one that actually there's one I can think of. It's on my desk. It's I didn't really get paid with it. It was more gifted. But I was working at DreamHack Birmingham a few months ago.
Nice.
And I was working on one of the stages, and we had one with a lot of voice actors on. So there was Sombra's voice actor, Carolina Ravassa, I believe her name is. I feel bad that's wrong now, but she was there. I also met Colin McLeod there as well. He was really cool. But Jason Spizak, who's the voice actor for Silco in Arcane, he was there doing Dungeons and Dragons segment, and he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you're right," in a sort of sultry American voice. And was like, "Do you play D&D?" And I was like, "No, not really, but I've like thought about it." And he was like, "Oh, here, have this then." And he was giving out like these, which I don't know if my camera will pick it up. But it's like
metal dice.
It's a metal die, like it's really heavy. It feels really nice. It's
yeah.
This is like, you know, those like that like meme trend of like the tungsten cubes where you just like give someone those tungsten cubes. It's really tiny but heavy. This is my version of that, because for something so small, it is like really dense and heavy and just like really satisfying to roll around. And also just the fact that I got it from a voice actor from Arcane, that's even cooler. So
wait.
It wasn't really payment, it was a gift, but
you take it as payment.
I love it.
It was a tip.
Yeah.
Wait.
It made the entire weekend worth it.
Here, wait. I want you to drop that on your desk here. I'm gonna turn up your volume as loud as it can go to see if it gets picked up.
I have a mouse pad on, and it's also like nearly 1 a.m. So I apologize. I will not be doing that.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, I will get angry complaints from both my girlfriend and neighbors.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for coming on at 1 a.m. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Wow.
I always feel so bad when I reach out to people who I know are in like the UK or Europe, where it's like, "Hey, you willing to be up at 1 a.m. for this podcast?"
I work in esports. Chances are I would have been awake at this time anyway, while working a job at normal human hours on the side.
It's just
not easy.
I hear that all the time, but whenever someone says like, "Oh yeah, I'm working esports hours," I just think of Spec being up at 4 a.m. saying like, "Yeah, I got a class in 3 hours. I'm gonna take a 30-minute nap."
That's been me for the past 3 years.
Dear God.
Yeah. I don't know if Spec is okay. Because like bro went to bed like early the other day, like really early.
Good.
And I had asked him if he was okay. He went to bed like around like 10 his time. I'm like, dude, are you okay?
Good. He needs to. This is more.
Yes, he does.
I'm
Need to.
concerned for his health. Like, as long as I've known Isaac, it's been like, yeah, he's up at fucking 3-4 a.m. almost 2 times a week. It's like, dude, how?
That in like 5 years, you're not gonna be able to do that.
No, once you.
Esports does weird things to you, especially in production.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one weekend, I think it was like around the end of CGL 16 that season, and I ended up in the space of 2 days. I ended up doing between CGL USS and another tournament. I did 4 grand finals and a lower finals, and 3 of the 4 grand finals went to a map 7. The lower finals also went to a map 5. So it was like however many out of 32 maps or something, like 29 or 30 out of 30 some maps in 2 days. And at the time, I loved doing it. The day after, I
the day after, regret.
yes.
Oh dear.
John.
Was season 16 the season that there wasn't pay? Was that the one where there wasn't?
No, there was
Okay,
pay.
and that was still hourly. You got a decent chunk of change for all that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Crazy times.
It was good.
Hunter, how the fuck did you get so loud?
Have you changed your mic somehow?
Yeah. I see him looking over. Hunter, what'd you do?
What did you do?
Wait, what did I do? What do you mean?
You're just really loud. You got really loud.
How loud could I be? Wait, is that what I did? No way I messed with this and that changed it. Did that? Why would I be loud all of a sudden? Maybe I just started talking louder. I'm gonna be honest. That's a genuine answer.
You got closer to your microphone.
I mean, because before I was like back here like this, and now I'm like up because I'm like, this is a lot more comfy. Do I need to lower myself?
No, you're good.
To do something?
You're good now.
You're good.
Okay, good.
Right.
That's great.
But we keep beating around the bush on it. We keep on saying we'll come back to it a little bit later. Let's talk about Respawn IO right now, and then we'll eventually get into into USS. And I'm actually in between this and USS. I'm gonna give you a fun question. It's one we haven't asked in a long time. But let's talk about Respawn IO.
Okay. Where to start really? It's to be honest, the whole process is kind of backwards. USS came first, and Respawn developed out of USS.
Do you want to swap them then? Do you want to start with USS?
Yeah, I can do that because it works better chronologically.
All right.
So it started in summer 2025. I was sort of getting involved with the UK university scene. I'd been playing in it just as a hobby because I had some friends that were also on the Overwatch team for my uni. And I also ended up knowing a lot of people in that because, as previously mentioned, doing the UK collegiate stuff, a lot of those players ended up joining uni at the same time I was in uni. So I was getting a lot of stuff of like, oh, people know me, I know people. Every like time I'm producing, there's like another name of like someone that I was like, oh, I casted you, and they're like, oh, did you? Yeah, don't watch the VOD, please. Stuff like that, where yeah, you just end up like you just sort of like stay in a sort of field long enough, you start to like know enough people, and it ended up being Luau who was doing, I think he was doing CGL and some other stuff first. I think like is it Chase Stars?
Chase.
Dreamlight tournament. He'd been doing that and some other stuff, and he'd been like established in the like sort of production area before me, and had got an invite from one of the creators of USS, a guy called Reclaimer, who you might know used to do some observing for CGL. who unfortunately he's had some personal issues. Won't go into, but wish him all the best, and hopefully he comes back soon. But he's a great guy and really cares about what he built with USS. But yeah, so it was in the UK. We had two leagues called NSE, or National Student Esports, and NUEL, which was an acronym I can't remember.
I know Spectrum had a podcast on Newellable for a little bit.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was based around NSE and NUEL, the two sort of rival unities. It was kind of weird because they were basically the same tournament. It's all basically the same teams because obviously it's universities. You're not really swapping around players for anything. But yeah, so we had these two tournaments, and NUEL started to sort of pull back on what they were doing. I think their main issue was because of Face It. Their game days used to be on a Monday. And obviously, when Face It got introduced, most people were playing Face It because there's a weirdly high. It's not to the levels of like an A collegiate where everyone's a OWCS player basically, or at least Face It Masters. But there were a lot of people in sort of the higher tiers of Face It that were also in university esports. Because it's also, I think it's like one of those weird things where like it feels like it shouldn't relate, but the age ranges are sort of right where it just does. It's one of those weird like stars aligning moments because there are so many like people now who are in like Face It Masters for EU. I think like Cheeseburger, Azo, sort of like not well known players unless you're like in EU, you sort of know their names, but players like that are at that level. And yeah, so NUEL started ending, and then we were like, it started off as a summer tournament. USS used to be University Summer Splash. It was meant to just be like this one-off thing for fun because there was nothing going on in the summer, and it ended up going really well. And people were like, "Are you going to do another one?" This was my first chance to like create a broadcast package, and I think I'll actually, because I'd worked with the Solomon stuff and I knew how stuff could work and would work. Luau brought me in to basically sort of give it a graphics overhaul. And I think I still have the images saved. I might just send them if I can send them in the server of what the control sheet was. Because it was all working off Google Sheets, as every good production will. It will start off in Google Sheets. Let's put it in the images for podcast.
Oh my god, someone's using the channel again. Yes,
my God.
we fucking suck at using this channel.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
That if that can go up on streaming anyway, that was what I was originally working with. It was literally you type in the team names, all the logos were like locally saved, and yeah, you just had to put that in and hope you could find the right images.
God, Edgar.
Eventually, yeah, Edgar was there. It was interesting. Then it went through a phase of like this where I came in where I upgraded this just so it had like some sort of more readability and actually used drop downs instead of typing stuff up. I created a second page. You have your data page. It didn't have that. So I was like, okay, Luau, the first thing you're gonna do is put everything in the Google Sheet because it's easier.
I think Luau
and then
posted
eventually
this image.
Oh, did yeah, I will forever hold this over him because it was a bit of a mess before. Not to let it boost my own ego, but it was a bit of a mess. And then eventually I was basically at home for a summer after that summer without my PC, and I literally had my laptop, and I was like, well, I can't produce, so what can I do? I can create a better controller basically, and that's what I spent a lot of time doing. I'll actually, because we don't use them anymore, so I'll show it with you. It's you'll see if you've seen the CGL one, it's very similar to that. If you'll scale it back to like 50%, you'll be able to
I need to figure out where
see
I see it.
you'll see sort of the workings of it, but it looks a lot more that compared to what we had. Anyone that's done production will recognize it's like very similar to like CGL stuff. It was heavily inspired, so yeah, shout outs to them because it was a great sort of idea or a great sort of reference to go off. But I think anything like this, where it's just that a thing that we had, especially with then creating the respawn tool, is that the easier it is for like a new person to come up and read it, the better.
Mhm.
Especially because when we started USS as University Student Showdown being a recurring league, we also wanted to give the chance to get new people in to learn producing, observing, all that stuff. So like it wasn't just a league; it was also like a training ground for like people, because there's a lot of esports production courses in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, there is. A lot of our group is made up of, especially like a university called Nottingham Trent. They have a course there for esports production, and yeah, a lot of people there work with us, and it's really good as well because they'll have like full, proper bespoke sort of broadcast setups,
Hmm.
really good gear. I don't know if you know like gear specifically, but one of them has like a Black Magic, one of the table mixers, like one of the really nice ones that's like everything built in. It's like, oh please, I'm just waiting for them to like offer me to visit so I can like go and see it, and, like, you know, just press a few buttons. But no, there's a lot of like money being put into it, which is cool. A lot of it is obviously for like regular TV production, but also for esports production, which I think is really cool.
Let me you keep going, because I'm gonna show a good example of a good one in U.S. colleges, because I'll say this: esports, especially uh is not necessarily, esports production is definitely not taught. Barely anything with esports is taught as well. Um, like I took an esports class. It was basically, I think, essentially a money grab kind of class where all it really was, dear God, all it really was they took a, I hate this. I do, because I've shown this on stream before. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Ooh,
like
that's nice.
a whole dedicated room
Probably like
to,
gallery, yeah.
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 But going back to what I was saying, like I took an esports class, or an esports management class in college. It was basically just sports management, where they changed every word, that every time the word
Yeah,
sports was used, to esport.
esports. Yeah, there's a lot of that where it's just like wolf in sheep's clothing. Not even that. It's like sheep. Is it sheep in wolf's clothing? I don't know.
No, wolf in sheep's
A
But
clothing.
wolf in
it's
sheep's
just
clothing.
yeah.
Let's get loud
It's
again.
you realize on the surface it looks good, and then you realize that it's like it's not really like I could have just done a regular business course.
Yeah.
That when you come out of it looks more respected. It's like some places might go, oh, esports business? No. Business? Sure.
Yeah.
And then you realize, well, I kind of could have just done this and applied to here, which that's kind of something that I fell into this year, but it's over now. And what I did my course in isn't even related to production anymore, and I don't really care about it. So it's whatever. But no, there is definitely a issue with that. But
Mhm.
a lot of um unis, yeah, do like to invest into production, which is cool to see because it's fun to work with
Mhm.
expensive equipment that you could like never dream of owning.
Yeah, like it's like that's the one thing. Like Boise State, which I just showed you, has a great one. I think Syracuse has a good one. Full Sail University, they have a great esports production facility. But outside of that, like it's the one thing that's maybe lacking the most about college esports here in at least America, where there's just not anything really put into production that much. Like it's one thing, and we've talked about it on this podcast in the past, where you have these schools that have great players, some of the best ones. I'll point to Winthrop, and I know they're trying to fix it, but they don't have, they don't stream their games unless it's being picked up by like the league that they're playing in. They do not broadcast their games, and they have like major sponsors. Like they have like, they used to have Red Bull as a sponsorship. Now it's Monster. They have a couple other big ones. Maryville has McDonald's, Monster, a couple other sponsors. They don't stream their games. It's just like I never understood why colleges like that who have these major sponsors don't stream, because at least you could say like, hey, we streamed to this many people. Especially with the players they have, you would get a lot of people to watch.
So yeah, it's like in some cases it's not even about the sponsors. It's like just the sheer pull you should have from the players you have.
Mhm.
Like especially like I know when at the time when like Dante was playing collegiate, that was a big thing that he's like one of the best players in the world. Also playing, was it Maryville? I didn't keep up to date with it much, but
It's like you could say 3 schools and have a really good chance. Maryville,
it's either like Maryville, Northwood, or
Northwood.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll just say 2 schools, or Illinois State, ISU.
yeah.
Those are the big ones, yeah.
Shout out to the staircase again.
Yeah, Jesus.
How are you getting so loud again?
Oh, because I got even closer, that's why.
Or even closer.
Don't mind me. I
Yes,
got even closer that time. I was leaning in. I was reading something.
Yeah.
That is the thing that like puzzles me. That like you have, like obviously Overwatch Esports thinks that there must be something behind it because US collegiate stuff gets put on the OW Esports channels.
Yeah.
At least for when it gets to playoffs. There's none of that for UK, but the draw that in general it should have surely would be bigger. You see when like people complain about OWCS how it has such a short schedule. Like teams play for like a couple weeks and then it's like another week playoffs and then it's like a long break, and an international event and then back to a long break. I assume like the leagues you have there sort of run for the length of the sort of term, which is a couple months. So just put on a broadcast, teach broadcast. Don't even teach broadcasting. Like have it as like a extracurricular thing. Because that's what I was doing. It wasn't nothing to do with my degree or anything. It was just fun and like a good chance to learn using industry equipment. Because I assume that these universities have the equipment. Make use of it. Like it's not that hard to put on a broadcast. Even if I know what you said about caring about how it looks, but even if it does look bad, just get it on there. You're gonna get views, get revenue, get income, and try and just keep building on that.
Like, especially like, again, the school I went to did not have anything special. Like they did not. We struggled immensely with having a working microphone. Like I had an old Yeti snowball that we used for like a year, and I left it in the arena because like, hey, I don't use this one anymore. Here's the microphone if you guys need it. But outside that, it's not like we had any like sound mixers or stuff. It was just like, okay, we have one dude who knows how to run OBS. That's it. That's our setup. And it worked. It's always like the thing. Like,
that is all you need.
Yeah, like you don't need to have all that equipment, but if you have it, you can just excel so much easier and have everything laid out and just set up so much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was really lucky to go to when I went to high school for the last 2 years. I went to a career center because I studied video production for a while, for quite a long time. It's weird that I ended up on this side of the camera, not the other. But we had
always time to change that, Hunter.
Yeah, honestly, to be fair, I always dabble with all the faces stuff and a little beyond that, but we had a full on like newsroom, like where we had a full like broadcast setup in there, and that was the most fun, honestly, working with equipment. I'm like, damn, outside of an actual job, I'm never gonna work with this stuff for the rest of my life. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna do what I can. And I luckily got to direct a lot back in the day when I was a senior, so that was a lot of fun. But I know what it's like to sell that and be like, damn, when am I ever going to be in this situation again? You just got to make the most out of it at that point.
But like, it's awesome to hear that there is like tailored classes to esports production, because like you said, it could also just be brought over to normal production, because a lot of it's just basically you're learning the same stuff. It's just esports is completely different from traditional sports, or just traditional like broadcast, like if you're doing in the news or something along those lines where you have to have someone there like ready to constantly change stuff. It is a transferable skill.
Yeah.
But
I say though, there is one thing that I've seen recently, a sort of like a rabbit hole I went down, is that if you really want to see like just completely balls to the wall, like crazy broadcasting setups, for some reason, American churches just seem to have the craziest streaming setups. Like I'm watching them put like 8K constellations into just this setup for a just because they want to stream their services or whatever. And I'm like, I'm like the wrong place because why is all the money here? Because that's crazy.
Are we talking about a normal church or are we talking about mega churches?
Um, I'm aware of the difference, so it could possibly be mega churches, but I'm not
Mhm.
aware enough of like knowing what I was watching, which it was. Knowing
Uh,
from what I know of mega churches, it probably could be because I know
mm.
they're a bit. I won't say anything in case, but
Nah. Just if someone from a mega church is gonna watch this podcast and get pissed.
money to throw around at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like my parents do stream a church service if my mom's unable to go to church, and it's from the church where my dad grew up. It's a small church. It's Hunter. You probably know. I'm gonna say this town. It's in Parma,
Parma. Do I know Parma?
Independence,
I might not know for a
south
fact.
of
I'll be
Cleveland.
honest. Okay, yeah.
There you
Okay,
go.
yeah.
It's a
Okay,
small.
we're
It's a
talking about okay, yeah.
yeah. It's like a small church. Like it's basically like there have been people that has like families generations been going there, but it's like I've been in the church. It's a small church, but they have like a professional like setup for their stream where it's like they just they have either a nice webcam or they like ask a local news station like, hey, can we use your camera for this? And it's just it's not like they're gonna be panning around. It's like it's just zoomed in right on like where the preacher's gonna be standing.
Yeah, like we have. I wouldn't call what we have around here a mega church. It's definitely like overdone, but it's not. It's not at that realm, But they will have like Christian bands come for like the beginning and of service, and they'll have a broadcast crew for stuff like that. It sounds wrong, but it is like a regular service.
Mm.
But it is really cool. I helped them out after I graduated from high school for a while. I did camera work there, and that was a lot of fun.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode where we talk about religion, maybe longer than we ever have before.
I don't know if we've ever mentioned religion over the course of 68 episodes.
Other than me,
It's just I found it one of those like weird things. It's like just kind of interesting. There is all this money being invested into this sort of thing that you just wouldn't associate with production.
like you found the church rabbit hole. I have somehow found the random arena soccer and arena football league rabbit holes where it's like, hey, we have 5 cameras set up in this arena where there's maybe only 25 people, but there's people playing sports. It's like so weird, but it like you said, it's interesting to see the productions that some of them have.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back on track now.
Is it back on track?
We are on track.
I'm
What do you
awful for
mean?
this.
No,
Been on track the whole time.
Friday, you do not have to worry.
I love to yap. I'm so sorry.
No, you're so fine. You do not have to worry about staying on track. Like if you go back and listen to the I'll always kind of say maybe it's the CB episode. I think we talked about esports for 20 minutes. It was a 2-hour long podcast. We talked about anything else you could possibly think of in that podcast, and I'm definitely over exaggerating how much or under exaggerating how much we talked about esports because we did talk about it a lot, but there's the stuff that wasn't esports that I remember more. But let's talk about Respawn IO now because it was USS into Respawn, but then we started talking about colleges and their esports production classes. But let's talk about Respawn now.
Yeah. So obviously with USS, that our production started gaining traction, especially like with the work we'd put into how they looked. And then it basically just the ideas kind of came from two things. One was that it was I think the USA World Cup trials because with us and XYBA, it was mostly our package and their infrastructure that we put on those streams that were getting a lot of attention. And then also while I was at uni, I had a class and one of the projects was creating a business enterprise. And I was like really like racking my brain for ideas, and I was thinking, well, me and Luau have this thing where it's like technically a business because basically then we were like USS Productions, and it's like it's kind of like with how CGL was with or how XYBA was with CGL, where it's come one's come from the other, but you kind of want to separate them and make it look more of a professional corporate entity, kind of.
Mm.
So I ended up doing my assignment on the theoretical that this USS production company breaks off and becomes its own company. That was the sort of that was the case study that I did. And then as I was like writing it, I'm like looking through like ideas, talking with my lecturer who was really good because he'd done like business stuff with IG, the Chinese League of Legends
Oh.
or Dota group. He used to work for them, which was really cool. So I was like kind of like in awe at him, just like listening to all his wisdom. And I was like these are good ideas. This actually is probably worth doing because it's easier to advertise ourselves as our own group, our own production group, rather than being like this production group that's attached to a university tournament. Which no problem with that, but it just felt easier to market ourselves outwards if we weren't contained within a university sort of entity. So that's basically where this started. We How did it start? We had the name. Did we? It all basically revolved around we used the Google Sheets that you've seen before, and then eventually we were like, we really want to have all this stuff, all the controls, just online. All our assets were online. One thing that we're incredibly lucky with is like I had the graphic design skills, but Luau is like, I mean, he gets a lot of praise, but he deserves so much more because everything he by trade is a software developer or he's like a back-end developer, I think. And all this came from the fact that I knew how to design stuff and he knew how to code. So eventually all of this came out of I was designing stuff in Photoshop, sending it to him, and he's basically building it digitally or in through like code. Which I mean, I did computer science at A level. I was awful at coding. I did a project and got a really high mark on some code that didn't actually work because I just did the case study on the one specific difficult part that did. The actual full program didn't work, but yeah, I was not great at it. So it eventually became that I was designing stuff, Luau was making it, but then also giving me lessons in coding at the same time. So I was basically getting free tutorship on how to like design a lot of the overlays that we were using, um, which I'm sure was stressful for him because he's working a job, trying to teach me and trying to like make the web pages themselves. And yeah, he honestly like he deserves all the credit and more because none of this would have been possible without him. And it's just crazy, like all the effort that he's put in is so much, and I'm yeah. There's nothing more I can say. As much as I love to take the piss out of him, I really can't sing his praises enough. But yeah, so recently we now published this site that you are on, where all our controls are run through this, and obviously you won't be able to get onto it because you won't be verified. Unlucky, but it became a way that we could the issues we had was that the Google Sheets were so slow and we were getting rate limited because we were trying to do so much more cool stuff. And also as soon as you give a Google Sheet to someone, if you're not like tracking who has access, anyone could go on and change stuff. And we were having issues where like people started using the wrong sheets because we had 3 separate sheets for different broadcasts, and then people would use the wrong ones and mess stuff up, and it was a nightmare. So eventually we create the site, we work more on our overlays, we bring in more stuff, more cool features. I think one of the coolest things that we managed to do, especially Luau managed to do, was our map pool. And I think I think I can say for certain that Hippie has said of all like the map pools he's seen on a stream, ours is like one of his favorite. Because of like certain controls we can do, we can edit how it animates and all stuff, and it looks really cool. Actually, can I do a demo? If I screen share, can you pull that up, or is that?
Yeah, no, I can do that.
Actually, oh wait, I'm using virtual camera. I can't do that. Oh, this is gonna be really awkward. Oh, I've really shot myself in the foot here. I'll get back to that, but I'll see if I've got like evidence of it. But yeah.
Was it
So
used in the team? Was
back on track
it
again.
used in the Team USA tryouts?
I'm not sure if it was. Let me see if I can just find our DMs. How do you do has a video? There we go. Oh, I don't want to waste time yapping.
That's this whole podcast. Yap
That's
away.
yeah, that's the whole podcast.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think I can see it. I've got one more place I will check, but no, but basically we have ways where like we can like alter like map pools on the fly. Any map you pick or is selected, it will animate, and then we also have options to animate whether it shows all maps or when one is picked, it will then shrink down, which is
Yeah, I
a
remember
really
seeing
fun.
that.
Actually, I know what I can do. This is going to be really scuffed for a second,
No, that's
but
perfectly fine. That's this entire
I'm gonna
podcast.
take over my webcam with the page, if I can remember what page it is. Oh, I'm crumbling under the pressure.
Nope, you're good. No pressure at all.
There's no pressure here.
Yeah, basically, while I do this, I'll try and keep talking. But the whole point of doing this was so that we could basically control anything we wanted in an easy way. When we were on Google Sheets, it was kind of like you had images in the background, and stuff would change. Images on top of that would change. In with this, what we now have is that we could change anything we wanted dynamically, which was a lot nicer. And that was the main point of it, because we wanted to have a thing where, because anything we do can change. We've done some Rocket League, we've done Valorant, we've done Overwatch, obviously, and we're trying to branch out into different games. We just wanted something where we could basically just grow out and do anything we wanted and change it however we want. If we wanted to like change it up completely on the day, we can do, and that's like the whole point of it. So yeah, that's the whole point of it, and becoming a brand that we could really advertise a lot nicer. I don't think this is going to work, so I'm really sorry, but I wish I could have shown
No, you're
it.
good. You're good.
But yeah, it's
Wait, do you have a second Discord?
oh,
Because I could just invite the second Discord in here, and we could see if we could get that.
let me hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. How am I a producer? This is awful.
It is 2 a.m. It is 2 a.m. for you. You do not. It is perfectly fine if you do not remember.
I was sure we had a video of it somewhere that we did, but apparently we don't. Which is a good idea that we probably should just
Have it
make.
playing in the
We
background.
just like have a show reel of stuff that we can animate.
Gotta have it playing in the background here on the website.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Wait, is this it? No, it's not. Damn it. Oh, stupid idiot. Anyway, yeah. Where am I? I don't know what I'm saying
No,
anymore.
no, you're fine. Here, how about this? You just you gave Luau a lot of praise, a lot of credit, a lot of
Yeah.
glaze.
Evidently,
Yeah.
I have no clue what I'm doing, and it's all Luau in the background.
You want to make fun of him? You want to slander him?
Oh, I have plenty of ways, but please, I will happily add another way to my list.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, slander Luau.
So the first one is obviously the greatest way to rage bait Luau is one simple image, which I shall find and send. Where I know where I saved it.
You can just
The
put it.
ultimate way, if ever Luau is speaking and you just need him to stop, which is common. Where's it gone? How have I lost it? Fixed. There we go. You send this, and in 3 seconds he's about to type again. Just watch. Another one is like back in the day. Do you remember when we had like tournaments like flash ops that were on start.gg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I played against Luau in one of those.
Oh my
And
god.
I will forever take the piss out of him that the team I was on, which was just a group of friends playing for fun, beat his team that were like hard scrimmers, and we beat them 3-0, and I will forever hold that over his head because he deserves it.
I
Where is
mean,
it? Ah, yes. I don't know if I can screenshot it with rosters, but
you're fine.
he will definitely react to this. That this game 3-0, the Watermelon Garden, too good. We might have had 2 ex-contenders players on our roster at the time, but we don't talk about that. They were retired. Yeah, those are my 2 main Luau rage bait methods. So if anyone needs, just DM me if you need these images, and just always send them to him.
I might just
Or
post
if
them.
you ever watch, his video on the Ops Surgeon channel, within 30 seconds of the video starting, he manages to he blinks off the map and forces his own recall on Lijiang Tower Gardens. Literally, I wish it's the most Luau. If you know Luau, it is the most Luau thing ever. That he looks at someone, shoots about 3 bullets, tries to blink away, and blinks off the map and recall and forces his own recall.
Jeez.
It's a very Luau thing.
Very much.
It is such a Luau thing.
Jeez.
Yeah, those are my trusted go-to methods. I mean, the screenshot from the game we played was back in from 2023, and that just makes me sad to realize I've known him for that long, which is unfortunate. Which is entirely a joke because I love Luau really. I've been to UK LANs with him. I won a LAN with him because I was coaching the team he played on. Yeah, he's such a great guy. Met him many times. As much as I take the piss, he's great. And somehow we've become a bit of a duo, I guess.
Yeah. Now,
through respawn and through production.
Like that's a very funny thing with just finding a duo, because it's I feel like it's always, especially for like me and Hunter being casters, it's always a thing where it's like in the back of your mind you're like, it would be nice to find a duo, someone that I could just constantly cast with, so we have that kind of back and forth. But on the production side, like I want to kind of get like finding that duo. What was that necessarily like? Where it's like you talked about, like he's more the coder, you're more the person who's there, making it look good. But like, is it very much like a smooth, like seamless thing where like you guys kind of know how each one of you guys is gonna want something to work?
Oh, not really. It never really. When we started doing this stuff together, it was never really the end goal of having respawn. Respawn has literally been less than a month, 2 months old. We've not even had a logo for a month. It's a really new thing where it's sort of just obviously with how it went, it was the natural progression. But yeah, when it started, it was just the fact that I'd done some production in BPL and that he'd done CGL and some other stuff, and was like, "Hey, I've got this opportunity. I know you like doing production. Do you want to join it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I've not really done production outside of BPL, so going into something where going from the Solomon.gg tool into having that first screenshot I showed you of that Google sheet, it was very different and very interesting. But then it started off because I was also more of an observer than he was. I was very lucky that when I started doing BPL stuff, I ended up buying a Stream Deck, specifically an XL one, because while I was in that period where I was at home, I really wanted one to because I was using the F keys and I was cramping my fingers. It was horrible. So I was like, I'll get a Stream Deck actually. Did some looking around on Amazon, eBay. Was about to buy one full price on Amazon, and by chance looked on eBay and there was um someone selling the XL for the price of the standard one. So nearly £100 discount. And I was like, that if this is real, and please be, that would be really good. So I instantly, because it was registered to I guess in the US they call it it's like pawn shops.
On shops. Yeah.
Yes, we call them slightly different here, but or they're like cash converters, or I think that's the brand actually. It's one of those where people will sell off their stuff to get money back, and it was from one of those. So I was checking it, and I was researching the place that was advertising, and ended up just buying it. Luckily, it was real. It arrived, and it was brand new, literally it had been opened, but it was still almost perfectly wrapped in I don't know if you've bought a Stream Deck, but it comes in the black mesh wrapping, and it has an Elgato sticker over it. That was still basically attached, and it was it looked like it hadn't been touched. So I was so happy with that. And from there, I spent that in the same summer that I did the Google Sheet stuff. I basically learned Companion and all the ways you could use that, because to anyone that doesn't use it, I presume anyone that watches this podcast will know about Companion, will use it, but it is honestly it's life-changing. I'd say for a free app, it's life-changing. And also I did this job with a corporate broadcasting company working with Financial Times, and he was like, yeah, they will look for production people, especially if they have knowledge in how to use Companion and stuff like that. Stuff that if you're doing what I'm doing, it's basic second nature, because you just learn to do it at home. You just spend a few hours, but there are so many in that space that don't know how to use it. Even easy stuff like setting up macros or whatever. It's it's so sought after, and it's a good skill to have. But yeah, I love Companion.
We've brought up Stream Decks a lot in the last couple of weeks, considering we've had a couple people who have mostly been producers and stuff, and for how often I stream, I don't feel like I need one, even though it's there's that idea of I want to get one just in case I ever do stream more often. I think Hunter, with how often he does stuff with Faceit, probably should have one at this point, because I feel like it'd be a lot easier to at least do some of the more minor things that we do with that. But it's I feel like we've had people come on and say, yeah, Stream Decks, they're great, they do so much, they help me out a lot, and then they're every now and then it's yeah, it's nice to have, but it's I mean, if you know how to if you set up a whole bunch of keybinds, you don't necessarily need it. But it's well, you don't it's always yeah, you could set up keybinds.
Yeah, it's one of those things where even though I have it, if it wasn't for producing, I wouldn't be able to justify spending as much as I did. If you have the disposable income, then sure, they're really useful to have. But I'm looking at mine right now, and this is just I'm just on my default thing when I'm not producing, and I'd say literally only at least 2 buttons I use, or 3. I have one which is a macro that changes my it changes just my default audio output from my headphones to my speakers. So instead of having to right click in the bottom right, it's really convenient. You press one button, and then I literally just have Discord mute and Spotify controls. The rest are literally, I have 2 I have an Oshawott and a Wooper dancing. I have a picture of Fat Yoshi. I have some Genshin characters, and then the rest are just pictures of my dog or my girlfriend. And I don't use it for anything else unless it's producing. And then I do have one that has all apps I use for producing, and it's a picture of the guy who basically taught me production in the first place at my uni. Because for some reason it's his profile picture and it's a grayed out picture of him, so it looks like it's from a obituary, and I find that quite funny.
Every time you press like, well, goddamn, thank this man so much. May he
Yep.
may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah. Probably sold his soul to teach me production. Oh, I've just pressed the wrong button and I've closed everything up. Oh. Oops. Wait, I'm back. There we go.
Oh, we're so back.
We're so back.
We're so back.
I can see you both as beautiful. But yeah, but going back to what we said about like me and Luau is like the whole respawn stuff, like what happened with respawn was like purely out of luck, basically. I wouldn't say luck or just convenience that we both ended up wanting to do. We both like enjoyed what we were doing and wanted to keep it going. Either like one of us really, I mean, he says he can't really design stuff because a lot of like the visuals came from me, which is fair enough, but if he wanted to, he could have like done everything he did from the start without me. And would he have ended up at the same place? Maybe not. But it was kind of from us both pushing each other, I guess, that we wanted to create this tool. Especially I like his ability in technical stuff and coding, and I think he likes my iron fist approach in design and how stuff should look. Because anytime he makes something, he's like, "Does this look good? Does this look good?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like I've got is it Knuckles with the approved and denied? That meme is like approved.
Yeah,
Stamps it. That's any design that Luau does that he's designed himself and hasn't been me. He like sends it to me. Is like, "Is this okay?" And I'm just like, "Sure."
No,
But change this.
I don't know if this is gonna be mean, but it's like this is the photo that you just have to give him every time, and that he sends you like a graphic thing.
Yeah. It's like this will do. I'd have like a what went well, even better if you did it, you tried.
This is a good start, but do you want some constructive feedback? Here's 50 here's 50 things that I would change. It's good. Trust me, it's good. But with these changes,
it'll be worth it. Yeah. Just first step, if you just delete that file and use this one that I've made, it will be great. You've done a great job. No, I think he like underestimates himself for design, because obviously when you do enough production stuff, you know what looks good, you know what sort of whether you can actually like get it how you're wanting, you can usually get it close. And especially I don't know like what experience with graphic design like you have, Dex, but I remember seeing like the most recent Phase It season where you'd updated all the done the overhaul of your stuff for co-streaming, and like that all looked really good. I really liked it, like especially like a lot of the custom backgrounds you did for team logos.
Yeah.
That's some of it looks really good. I'm not going to say I'll steal it on this podcast.
Oh, you can steal it.
But
go ahead, steal it.
it's stuff like that is like that's like the unique stuff I was talking about back earlier, where it's like small stuff like that just gives a stream character that is it's really nice. It's like you don't see it everywhere, so it's nice to see that even if it comes from like just I don't know, this sounds disrespectful, but if it's come from just YouTube co-streaming games, it's still a really cool thing that if done like properly on a professional broadcast, it wouldn't look out of place.
Yeah, like we were talking about standards earlier. Like it's with that, I never got around to that point I was trying to make with that. It's like I wanted to try, even though it's like we do different stuff. It's like, it's why I change it every season. It's like, hey, let's keep on trying stuff, something a little bit different, just to see like, hey, does it still look good? Does it still look professional and everything? And it's like, really, it's also just like, hey, I like doing this. It's really fun to do this. For me, because I kind of just like sitting down at my computer for 3 hours and messing with the font size until I find the perfect size.
Yeah. No, it is.
No.
It's just like a rewarding process, I guess. If you get stuffing like something where like with the end result that you can say, yeah, I'm really proud of that.
Mm.
It makes all the effort worth it, I think. And I think that's the stage I've got to um with Respawn and with everything we're doing. As I said, we're still like developing more. Obviously, we're trying to branch out into new games. USS, because we're still, just because it's a new broadcast group, we're not like leaving them or anything, because obviously we want to stay with where we started. They want to introduce some new games, which means we have to be prepared to broadcast those, and it's fun that we get to do different games. I've been working myself, like Luau's been helping me more, but with what I've learned from doing the production or with the coding stuff that he's taught me, I'm now making almost on my own like new Rocket League overlays for our stuff, using, because we started using the, I don't know if you know Rocket League, but they have something called BAL or
Bacchus mod.
Bacchus. So yeah, Bacchus. And then there was the issue with, they introduced Easy Anti-Cheat, and then Bacchus was broken. Now Bacchus works again, but they brought in a new API for stats stuff. And I basically, over the past few weeks, had been learning how to use APIs and creating overlays. So yeah, when it comes to USS doing Rocket League, most of that stuff will be me, which hopefully I get it to a point where I can say, yeah, I'm really happy with how it looked, because most of that was me. A lot of like, at least a lot of the design for the Overwatch stuff was me, but almost all of this like back end stuff for Rocket League has been me, and that's something I'm really proud of, and I'm trying to develop myself in a way that's not just tied to Luau as much as it could be easy to just like, hey, can you just like make this new program for me, just create this new website, 5 new data centers or whatever. No, it's fun to like, because I'm not really making money out of it, but it's just for fun. I want to learn new skills for fun, and learning how to produce, learning how to observe. All that came from just doing it for fun, and now it's getting more technical. The more like the higher sort of quality we go, it's getting more not taxing. I can't think of the right word. It's getting more challenging to learn, but it is still rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah, like absolutely. We had Half Past White on last week, who is a Rocket League producer, and he talked about the struggles with having Bacchus mod basically go away, because Bacchus mod was how everyone in Rocket League had that stuff, like had custom overlays, had all this fun stuff. That then you get that taken away. Grant, it's back now. Like they actually worked with Psyonix to get Bacchus mod back, especially because RLCS use Bacchus mod.
I was RLCS. Yeah, I did like 2 years ago when RLCS was in London. I got the chance to work with their ops team and like the referees and all those and that group. And I was like, yeah, they used Bacchus for stuff. There was one feature that they had where you could like change the skin of the ball. They weren't meant to, but like on the day, like on the first day of like the Swiss stage, one of the head admins there was decided, hey, this is one of our sponsors. We're just gonna put this skin on and we're just gonna use it.
The progressive ball.
Yeah.
Was it the progressive ball?
I can't remember. I think it was just one of the main. I think the only way they could get away with it it was one of the main sponsors. I'll see if I can find it actually, because I remember like the I remember the games I saw. But yeah, I was so lucky with that I got to work with the ref. I spent the first days of Swiss. It might have been that one. It looks very similar, but I got to work for the first few days of Swiss. I got to work with the admin team, and then because I got an all access pass from that, even though I was meant to give it back, one of the guys I was working with was like, he didn't officially, he didn't say don't give it back, but he just said you can still wear it and get around. So I got to like stay and watch like the grand finals and everything for free. It was so good, so worth it. Especially like I ended up for like some of the games sitting with the French fans, and I know for like
dear God, yeah.
For like the French fans, I know for Overwatch, at
Very
the last
passionate.
Stockholm major, they were good, but like Rocket League was even more.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I forget which team it is. Like they had their own thing, like they called it the blue wall, where they had like the banners, the flags, and everything going on. It's like an actual like soccer or European football like kind of fan section where it's like they're chanting, they have chants, and it's like they're going nuts for everything. It's like that's the type of fan we want in esports.
Yeah,
that's absolutely it.
it was. Yeah,
it
it was something. I ended up. I think it might be green wall. I think it's for gentle mates.
Green wall's
Is it?
optic.
I know this is. I thought it was optic in like in Halo and COD and stuff. But I thought this was the same in Rocket League. I do have videos on my phone from where I was sat under them when one of the teams was doing their walkouts, and it was just so loud. It was they were like because they were on like the top tier, so there's like the little like there's the little like overhang between the next tier. They were hanging over. How no one fell down? I'm surprised.
Did you see? Did you see any of the last Rocket League? How they had the last Rocket League major where they had everything set up, where the players they would walk out and they were walking out like through all the like they had a path they followed, but like it was a whole bunch of like hexagons they were walking through that illuminated the team color on them as they walked through.
I think I might have seen a bit of it. I remember having a funny conversation about like player walkouts with some of the admin team because they were talking about how they used to have them walk through crowds. So like on the floor where those hexagons are, they probably would have had crowds. But they just apparently used to have so many issues with it that they just decided no more crowds on the floor unless it was like heavily controlled. They were just like no. It was quite funny to listen to. Kind of funny that like even in like the top tier events, you'll still get these like small like teething issues. Whereas it's not like when you have like online, it's when you're playing online, you'll have like a player that just like goes missing and a team isn't ready for no reason and it delays you by 5 minutes. But then you go to a live event and then some fans jumped over a barrier and then that delays everything even worse. And it's it's quite funny that issues still persist no matter where you are. I found the ball. It wasn't a progressive one. It just had the graphic for the London major on it. It was just the sort of general. Actually, it is red, white, and blue. So the real red, white, and blue flag, the Union Jack way.
There's too many countries use red, white, and blue.
that is true.
Well, it's like Jamaica. There's the only country in the world that doesn't use red, white, or blue on their flag. Yeah. So this.
Yeah.
Here, wait. This is what I'm talking about with the walkout they had for the Rocket League players whose last slam.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I thought that was like the coolest shit. Like, more esports need to do stuff like this because it's so fun. Also, why the fuck is Man City in Rocket League?
They have a really big esports division.
Yeah.
It started in. I mean, I'm a Man City fan in professional football or soccer, but
Fair.
Wait, but yeah, no,
just jail.
I just can't. I can't. Oh. But yeah, look, I mean, it started out of FIFA, I think, but yeah, that's an interesting ad. They yeah, they invested a lot in their esports stuff. It's starting with FIFA and then Rocket League apparently.
Yeah,
which I guess is cool to see. It's like we saw with Wolves in Valorant. They used to sponsor they sponsored EG, right, and then they bought an APAC slot in Valorant.
I remember Wolves. They had a COD mobile team because I remember going to DreamHack Atlanta one year, and COD Mobile was having like its World Championship there, and they were just like, "Oh, hi Wolves, what are you doing here?"
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not big on COD, but I
I mean,
entirely believe it.
I mean, I'm not necessarily big on it either, but it's like, oh, interesting to see Wolves here. But what?
I think it is fun just to watch other esports and just see what's
Mhm.
going on. It's like, where will other teams crop up?
Yeah, it's always fun to see just all the different orgs as well, because like if you only ever focus in on like Rainbow Six, you'll never heard of some of the orgs that are really only in like Rivals and Overwatch before.
Yeah.
But we're kind of at that point right now in the podcast where we should start wrapping up here. Hunter, do you have a question before we get to your normal one?
I might not. There's a lot of interesting stuff, but honestly, I'm too curious because it feels like this is gonna be the most basic answer. It's either gonna be the most basic thing, or we're gonna go into like Warhammer 40k levels of lore, and I don't think there's much of an in between. Tex, you always give me that look. You always give me that look.
Well, I was gonna say, why Warhammer levels of lore?
Because
I
it's
can
very
guarantee for me
very
it won't be
extensive
Warhammer.
universe. It probably won't be, but I can
It
hope.
would be Warhammer for me. It could be. What could it be? Just
You
think.
could say like
What could we
there's a
do?
lot of
It
like
could go
Lord of the
into
Rings lore.
Transformers. It could go into Star Wars. Could go into Doctor Who. Could go into
Okay,
anything.
there's a lot of things. So we're to
There's a lot
find
of things
out
it
because
could.
because we did kind of talk about at the beginning whether you have Friday, now you have Saturday and all that, but you've named yourself Friday, and I want to know why you decided to name yourself Friday, and to this point, why you've opted to stick with Friday as well.
There is. More. There's like a few reasons that like merged. I used to be called Blue Tack, like the sticky stuff.
Right.
Other sticky substances are available. But I used to be called after that because that was my dad's name on Xbox, and I used his account. It's kind of one of those things I think happens to some people. You end up playing on your parents' accounts. Their name sticks with you. But I kind of like wanted something different. Friday came out of like three main things. Where did it come out of three main things, or was it two? It came out. The two main things it came from is that my birthday is on the 13th, and I think when I changed it, my birthday fell on Friday the 13th. Not I haven't even I've seen like one of the movies. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I don't like horror. So I don't know why, but it just like it's one of those things that just like worked well, I guess. And then also I'd watched one of my favorite films is Avengers Age of Ultron. Because specifically I love James Spader, and his voice as Ultron is one of the best, I think, voicing jobs or voicing appearances in any film. And wait, no, it's not Age of Ultron. It's Civil War, isn't it? No, it is Age of Ultron. Basically, when Tony Stark doesn't have Jarvis anymore, and then he loads in a new voice, and it's called Friday. And the way he was just like saying to it, like Friday, what are we looking at? I just thought, that sounds like a really cool name. So I kind of just took that. So yeah, there's basically the reason I went with Friday is just Friday the 13th, a film that I've barely seen, and then Iron Man changing Jarvis to Friday. I did also have my dog is called Jarvis.
There,
Named if
there was a brief,
Oh, this
there
is
was a
great.
brief moment. There was a brief moment where I thought, yeah, my dog's name is Thursday.
no. My dog's name is Jarvis, and as much as my dad would like to say it's from Jarvis Cocker, who's like an English musician, no, it's Jarvis from Iron Man. Because my mum is as big as a Marvel nerd as me, so it passed down to me, and that's why I then became Friday.
Yeah, that's
So
simple lore.
Friday the 13th and Friday Iron Man. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really interesting. Not interesting.
No,
No. Trust me, it's interesting. Trust me.
But I think there are worse ways or more boring ways to have your name,
Oh, there are.
especially
There are.
hippie coming from insulting people. I remember watching that one the other week. So
Oh god, Zay's having some fun.
she's messing with the thing I have. She doesn't get inside my PC. Well,
That wouldn't
I'm
be
no,
just gonna
great.
no.
eat everything.
Let me rephrase that. I have the
Yeah,
glass.
for sure.
I have the glass off of my PC, so there's a little bit better airflow, but
Oh.
it's still leaning up against it. But then, so she doesn't like knock that over, I just have a piece of cardboard leaning up against that. So she's messing with the piece of cardboard, and she just knocked it out completely. Okay.
If you feed your cat right,
Yeah.
in the space of this hour and a half, she's tried to eat foam off the wall and
No,
cardboard.
she does that, and no, she's not. No, she's not eating it. She's just like she's laying down at my feet, and it's just like within her paw reach. So she's just clawing at it, and she just eats the wall when I'm not giving her attention. That's it. Isn't that right, Zay? She's not looking at me. All right, but
Zay's done.
let's move on to our last question here for you. Now, normally this would be asked by Megalass, who used to be a host on this podcast, has to leave, but she always asked. God damn it! There it is. She always asked, what grinds your gears about doing esports prod? And I mean, this could go. She always said, "Hey, the pettier the better. Let the hate and vitriol kind of flow here." Like, what really grinds your gears about esports or esports prod?
Okay. Luckily, I don't have this issue with you two,
Uh-oh.
but casters, and specifically casters that have casted for like a period of time that don't have their audio stuff set up properly. The amount of casters I've had to deal with that have some weird little program in the background that adds that fucking automatic volume adjustment that just completely messes up levels. That's what really grinds my gears out. It's because like I remember doing one stream where I had this person who was casting, and I was telling them like your mic is really low, can you get closer? And they would, and then it'd start peaking really high. So I'm like, okay, I'll adjust this, turn it down, and then they'd move away or they'd like change how they speak. It's like, you know, there's some casters that like can't really keep a level. I know sometimes you'll start shouting, so you'll get louder, but then they like go into that whisper. It's like their highs are up here and their lows are like all the way down there, and they have they have like the automatic like noise gating stuff that just does the complete opposite of what it should do in theory.
Like this,
So then
I was sorry, like the what Discord has with like the automatic noise canceling or whatever.
yeah, it's like one of those where like if you like start whispering, it goes too loud, and if you like go too loud, it goes too quiet. It like works in reverse of how you think it should, and it. I spent a whole broadcast of basically having to fight this caster's camera microphone with levels going up and down, up and down. I was balancing audio and 3 observers all at once. It was like trying to juggle while sitting on my hands blindfolded. It was impossible. And then I was literally telling, like, I had people like that were watching the stream telling me, "Hey, you need to turn this caster up." It's like on Discord they're on 200, on OBS I'm turning them down, and I'm constantly adjusting it. I'm trying my best, and then I get like messaged by some of the casters afterwards saying, "Hey, if like there was this issue, if this is like a thing, can we like talk about it afterwards?" So I mean, fair enough. It's like no one wants to like no one wants, like, especially if you're casting, you want your image to be good. You don't want to like have these issues because it sort of affects you as well as anyone else. But it was like I'd been telling them what the issue was. I'd been telling everyone what the issue was and how much I was trying to fix it. And one of those things where you can just be like, real, like them messaging me obviously makes sense because they want to like solve the issue. But it's also like when I was saying what the issue was and the effort I went through trying to fix it, you just get one of the things where you just feel so petty about it, and you're like, oh, it's yeah. That's one thing that grinds my gears.
No, like like Hunter would probably be a good person to talk to this about because with our face and stuff, he's gone over to having me be on a separate sound thing rather than just being like with this podcast. I just take everything through Discord. He has where he takes my sound directly from video, right? You don't take like it's not like that.
It goes directly through video. Yeah.
So I imagine he's had to deal with sometimes, which like, hey, and there's been times during streams like he has to turn me up because he can see on OBS like I'm very low compared to everything else, and it's like everything sounds fine, but it's just like random sound differences.
That is one thing that I find. That is one thing where like I personally use the Discord method just to like get both casters in one. It's easy enough, and usually there isn't issues. But that is like one thing. In fact, that's the one nice thing about having if you produce using two accounts. I just have like my other account Saturday, which is where like I would never want to be in a voice call with people because I know their levels are all going to be completely wrong, but that's just from listening to them casting. When I'm on this account, everything's fine. But no, splitting up audio channels, I mean, generally is a good idea.
Yeah. Hunter, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I've gotten used to it, and there's always the one of like, it probably would be easier to go back. But then I've seen many clips over the last month of things that shouldn't be making onto broadcast, making their way onto broadcast. I know there's the one popular clip, but there is more than one. I will tell you, there is more than one, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should do that. Because if we're in like this VC, realistically, anybody could jump in here at any time and just play a voice line and then duck out of here. Like Person or Megalass could just do that in a heartbeat. I'm surprised it has never happened, to be honest with you. If once that happens, bro can't do a thing about it.
No. Like here's the thing. I could just have it turn. I could turn that off. That's a setting. Like they had the setting on. Like you could turn that off. I could turn that off right now, so no one could play a soundboard clip.
That is true.
With the face paint, it doesn't matter. Is the producer's best friend.
Yes, my God, is it ever?
Always check you have streamer mode on.
Mm-hmm.
That's also like I don't like stream mode is annoying in the one sense where it is useful. Is also the thing where it's most annoying is that whenever you like open a streaming program, it auto turns on. Which when you're not streaming is really annoying. Like if I'm doing like setting up production stuff and I'm like having to close and open OBS to reset it, my Discord keeps switching itself on and off, which is really annoying. But then the one time where it is useful is when you actually need it the most. So it's one of those like give and take kind of things.
Yeah, it's like I don't get many, like I don't have a lot of people like direct messaging me, so I get those pings a lot. But there's been times where it's like you've worked with Person, right? Friday?
Yes, occasionally.
So me and him like to talk sports, and normally he'll send me something. There's been times where he sent me 10 messages during this podcast. So streamer mode has saved me from having 10 Discord pings live during it.
Oh, I don't know why, but I've never had Discord pings enabled. My girlfriend does, and I'm like, how can you listen to that? How? Because she's in so many servers as well. How can you listen to that noise? I've not had a Discord ping since 2017. It's
I don't think
been great.
Well, let me check.
I don't think I've turned off D&D in like 6 years.
2017. Yeah, you know what? Your account. 2017. Okay, checks out.
Yeah, No, I lost my old account, so this is technically my second account, so it has been longer. I'm so annoyed because my old account had the early, whatever it is, early access or early
Oh,
Oh yeah.
invest. I can't remember what it is now, but when you were like in the first year or whatever of
Mm.
accounts to have it, that had that, and I lost it, and I'm so
damn.
fucking annoyed.
I,
But I've still
I'm
had this account a long time, so
I mean, basically, what I like, I just have it all my channels. I just have it set to mute unless like directly added. So
yeah, I have literally everything muted. I only get like text notifications
mhm.
if it's pings,
Yeah,
but still, even on my phone, I don't get noise because I don't know. As like you always get like people saying, "Oh, people that hide all the notifications have like are hiding something," but it's like, no, I just don't want to hear these annoying noises all the time.
yeah. I'm
So
definitely in some servers where it's like they're just like I'll one that I'm in. It's like my brother and a lot of his college friends. It's a Pokemon thing. And like randomly for about 5 minutes, they will just go nonstop talking, and I just keep on hearing the Discord ping. It's like I have muted this channel. Why the fuck am I still hearing this shit? I don't fucking care about your fucking Pokemon card game app and what you pulled. Please shut up. Oh god. But I think that's a better spot than any.
actually, can I have one more thing? It
Yep.
doesn't that is
Yeah.
almost like on the grinds my gears. It's like really close, and I want to get your opinion as casters.
Mhm.
When you have the players' names in Overwatch at the top, and it's usually DPS, or it's like DPS tank support.
Mhm.
Do you think it should stay like both teams in that order, or do you think it should be mirrored where you have DPS in the middle, like tank in next, and then supports on the outsides? Because I think the second one would be better
Mhm.
and would be used if the Overwatch lobby stuff wasn't so awkward for doing that, because you'd have to get people to give your teams in reverse orders,
Mhm.
and then you're swapping players diagonally, and that would be awful. But if it could be like that, would you think that would be better? Because
I,
I've raised this question to many people.
I would be such a sucker for that stuff because like you could, and it comes down to just like, hey, both the teams are running the same thing. You could literally say, hey, it's a true mirror match because you just
It literally
yeah.
in when it was out of role queue, fair enough. Because I mean, you could have a general idea of where people would be, but it could often change. But like since role queue, I've thought it should, if it wouldn't be such an awkward thing, and honestly, if Overwatch players for the most part weren't so awkward to deal with
Mhm.
in lobbies, that would be better.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because it's like, for instance, this is great. It is a great thing. But would it work for the Overwatch players, the people of this land? Probably not. It'd be cool. I'm sure there's certain leagues be like, oh, that's a cool thing. Let's do that. Let's do that because it's a lot easier to manage in a situation like that. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. Will it happen? I don't know. Can I keep my hand in the same place? Fucking definitely not. Uh, but either way, that bit's done.
Just a
Yeah,
pro.
that's my last little rant. That was just, it's not even a rant. It's just more of like a
It's you're
food for
getting
thought.
feedback, opinions on it all.
Yeah.
Like I'd be for it because I think it'd be cool. But like you said, it's hard to because if you swap sides, you basically be having to move 8 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just like a straight mirror. It's or like the swap all button.
Yeah.
Although, as much as I like to say that that would be annoying, as for all the games I have worked in, observed, produced, lobby hosted, Overwatch has one of the best custom lobby
Mhm.
controls. If I don't know if you've tried to do Halo,
No.
especially Halo Infinite, it is
Mhm.
so horrible because it just loads. Players load in, they select their teams. Half the time, when they try to change team, it won't let them. So, like, there's a lobby admin that can change, but players most times can't even change where they are, or it will move them and it doesn't load on their screen, but it does on everyone else's.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so awful. And then when you get into game, the game just decides, okay, this is the order they've joined the game in. Let's just
Oh
change that for a laugh.
dear God.
Let's So when you're trying to do if you're trying to do an online tournament where if you have when it's in person, it's not as bad because you have people always on the same PCs. You have like the cameras and their names in the right place. But if you're trying to do it online, you're like having to load in to the game, and like for the first 10 seconds, you're like figuring out, okay, who's in what observer position, and trying to change the names accordingly, and it's horrible. So yeah, that is one thing, especially where I think Overwatch takes the cake and is far superior than other games. I do think for just for like in terms of like actual esports production quality, Overwatch is one of the best games. I know it's like it was a game that was made to be an esport originally. I know like recently they changed with like the PvE stuff. But obviously that didn't quite work out as planned. But there are so many games where they've been. I can see your face. I'm going on a run again.
No,
there are so
good.
many games. There are so many games. There are so many games. I feel where it's like they're marketed as for it feels like they have that sort of air that they are for esports, almost first and foremost. But then to actually use them in the esports environment, they're horrible. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I feel like it's such an overthought where it's not even the actual playing the game. It's like operating the game. Is that the right sense? Like just like adminning, I guess.
Yeah, that word.
Yeah. That's my second little rant.
No, like I agree with you there. Like there's too many games now that have been like saying, hey, we're gonna make this game especially for esports. Like that's not the way to do it. Make sure it's a fun game first, and then esports it up. But I think that's a better time than any to wrap up this episode. Friday, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's almost 3 a.m. for you, so we're gonna let you go to sleep.
Yeah,
Hunter,
I've got work later, so I've got.
Yeah, I know Hunter's about in the same boat where he has to go to sleep here to wake up early as well. So thank you again, Friday. Thank you for coming on and being the guest this week. It was awesome to have you on, and thank you everyone so much for watching this week's episode of For the Love of Prod. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and on Twitter. Why not? And make sure you tune in next week for another great episode of For the Love of Prod. And as always, I don't know who the guest will be. You'll figure it out when I do. Until then, y'all, have a good week. See ya.